Gavin, we are live. All right, we are going to do another of movies and stuff like that. We'll kind of keep it Halloween themed.
Yeah.
So, you want to start with your favorite one?
Yes, I do. All right. So I want to talk about a movie that is widely underrated. Everyone hates it. It got like a 24% on Rotten Tomatoes. No one likes it. It came out in 2004. It's got ya boy, Hugh Jackman in it, Kate Beckinsale, and it's called Van Helsing. Now listen, okay? Listen, I need everyone to understand. I understand if you've seen this movie, or you probably haven't, but if you did and you don't like it, I need you to understand that you are wrong. This movie is awesome, and I'll tell you why. Okay, you don't just have action. You don't just have drama. Okay, you got some cool, fantastical animals, and some beings, and you got goblins, and you got werewolves, and you got Frankenstein's a monster. Vampires, Dracula, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's such an underrated movie. I've watched this movie since I was a small little child, and you know what? I still, to this day, love it. I know almost every word to the whole movie, and I love it. So, it's basically, I don't know how I would describe it, because talking in layman's terms, like, realistically, it's not a good movie. But
guys, listen, you have to watch it. You're wrong if you think it's a bad movie, but just letting you know, it's a bad movie.
In terms of like watching actual movies, it's not a good movie. But if you wanted to have some fun, just something to watch while you eat your popcorn and whatever, you don't feel like watching just like Halloween or The Nightmare on Elm Street or something. It's just a cool little, Halloween movie to throw on. This is the Halloween edition of our podcast, so it's the
Indeed.
it's the first holiday that we have on the podcast. So
yes,
yeah, it's pretty exciting. But
and it is a pagan holiday, which is kind of funny.
Yes.
Because you have me, a good Catholic boy, who enjoys Halloween and such. But yeah, we're gonna try to keep a lot of these themed. Before this one, we recorded our video games one.
Yep. So that's up on Spotify now. But yeah, so it's because I know like Halloween comes around, and like when I was younger, obviously I loved Halloween, and now it's not so much. But I think it's still cool, kind of get around with everybody and just have a good time.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna be celebrating Alex Shirley. Shout out to him. His 22nd birthday. So it'll be kind of fun to do like Halloween. Because I know you wanted to open with like Van Helsing and things like that, so we're gonna try to keep it like Halloween themed. Spooky, scary skeletons. I'm gonna learn that dance. I'm gonna learn that dance.
Oh, are you?
Yes. So on Saturday,
maybe you should focus on learning how to spell.
Listen. I am in college.
No, you shut up. Listen, hold on. Before we get into this, I need this to be known. This man. Okay, I'm going to say a word, and I want everyone to think about how to spell the specific word in your head, okay? The word is cherish. Like, I cherish something, okay? Now, just think about how you would spell that word, all right? Envision that word in your mind. Okay, everyone got it? Good. Everyone should have thought of CHERISH, cherish. This man, Matthew Joseph Lepore, decides to type it out, and he types it as CHAIRSH.
All right. Well, here's the thing.
Cherish.
Hear me out. I need you to hear me out for a second. Okay. I've been in college for this being my fourth year. Right. Okay. And in high school,
you need a refund.
Well, okay. Listen.
Don't you start time. Don't you start doing that shit to me.
Stop. I need you to.
Where's your frog hat?
Listen. I would if I could.
Oh my God.
Super time. Listen, if you're hearing that. Anyways, but listen. Hear me out. Grammarly, right? Autocorrect.
Yes.
How many things you just type?
Oh yeah. Type.
I type very fast. You see me type, right?
Yeah.
I can't get my brain to catch up with my fingers, and then my fingies to like portray the word that I'm depicting on the screen.
You're a grown man and just said fingies unironically.
Oh boy.
Keep going?
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Van Helsing, tell me.
Yeah. Good segue. All right. You're lucky. I love this movie. So. All right.
You see what I did there, guys? Anyways, go ahead as you were saying, Van Helsing.
Yeah. So anyway, Van Helsing it starts off, basically the whole premise of the movie is Van Helsing is a bounty hunter, and he hunts mythical beings, right? So he hunts werewolves, goblins, ghouls, vampires, trolls, giants, things along those lines. Okay. So the movie starts off. It's pretty simple, pretty self-explanatory. It starts off pretty cool. It's a cool scene where everyone should know of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. He's end up fighting Mr. Hyde, and as he kills Mr. Hyde, he throws him out of at the top of a church, and so he falls off the top of the church, and he as he's falling, he turns from Mr. Hyde back into Dr. Jekyll.
Okay.
So when he falls and all these people like seeing the body, they look up and they look down at the body, and it's just a regular dude now instead of this giant beast. And then they look up and they see Van Helsing, and so he's like a martyr. So he's like, a criminal, and people want him dead because they think he's killing normal people, and he's like a serial killer, when in fact he's killing these, mythical beings.
Yes.
And so, it's pretty cool scene. Obviously, it's made in 2004. Okay, the CGI isn't great, but it's really good for its time. You look at other movies like The Scorpion King and stuff, which came out around the same time. Horrible CGI. This movie has pretty damn good CGI.
I just want to put in perspective, right? So I'm just kind of looking here because I've actually never seen this movie. So this is Gavin's like big thing we want to talk about. I'm like, yeah, dude, let's ball out, and I'd love to kind of hear about it more on the podcast, and because I learn a lot about MLB if you guys listen to those. But, Gavin, if you're seeing what I'm seeing, I just want to highlight this beautiful little passage here.
Yes.
Despite
yes
mostly negative reviews.
Rain it on me.
Comma.
Yep.
The film grossed over $300 million worldwide.
I'm sorry, how much?
$3.
$300 million.
So
that's 6 zeros.
So you know what it is? They always say any publicity is good publicity, depending on the eye.
The movie's great. Okay, the movie's great. Okay, the movie if you haven't seen it, go watch it after this podcast.
He usually is pretty good with movie choices because right now you're having me watch Daredevil. You know what? We'll talk about this later. Yeah. Go ahead. Go into your.
No, you're fine. You're fine. It's one of those things where it's like, look, as everyone should know, I'm a fairly serious person. I like to joke around. I like to have fun. But when it comes time to do actually work or be serious, I can be pretty serious. And if you don't know me, and we meet outside of a party setting or a fun kind of a setting, you might think I'm a little bit too serious or something. But I like to have fun, obviously, right? So that's why we're doing a podcast, right? And so this movie is one of those movies where I'm kind of that person where if I watch a show and I really don't like it, I usually don't finish it. Same with a movie. This movie, it's just fun. It's just a fun movie to watch. You know what I mean?
Now, is it because of Hugh Jackman being in it? Because I know you love him.
Dude, listen, all of them are I like to laugh at the movie too. There's scenes where Kate Beckinsale from Underworld, same. Okay,
Spoiler alert.
She's getting tossed around, slapped off concrete walls, takes no damage, and then she ends at the end of the movie, gets tackled and dies. And it's plot armor, you know what I mean? But it's a fun movie to watch, and the whole premise is Van Helsing is going to, he's basically contracted by the Vatican to go and hunt down and kill Dracula. Okay. Now, the Vatican is like, yo, he needs to die. We need you to take care of. He's like the spawn of the devil, yada, yada, all that stuff. He's going to go. You have to go kill him. Okay. Now, he goes and he starts on his journey. Now, the first town. So he obviously he has to bring a companion, right? Someone to kind of watch his back.
All right.
Now, he's ordered to bring a friar with him. Okay. So a friar, so this is basically a guy that works within the church, which is within the underground society of the church, that whole thing. And he goes with Van Helsing as his sidekick. Now, obviously, Van Helsing is very serious. He's very matter of fact, and he's just kind of he's repaying a debt to the Vatican. Okay. But we don't know what that debt is yet. So the friar, he's like a goofy side character. He's the comedic
relief. Yeah.
They go there. They find their first town on their journey, and all the people are surrounding them with pitchforks and stuff, and then they're and then all of a sudden, boom, secondary character. All of a sudden you hear Van Helsing, and boom, it's Kate Beckinsale, and she's like, I know who you are. You're Van Helsing. You're a murderer. You're a criminal. Why are you here? Van Helsing's like, listen here, lady, I don't give a damn about your people. I'll kill all y'all if I need to get to what I need to do. I don't want to because I'm not a killer. I'm not a murderer of humans, but Y'all need to get up out of my way. Then she's like, okay, everybody disarm him. And he goes, you can try. And then everyone stops because he's like he's like a trained killer, like he's an assassin.
Well, I mean, if you're gonna be doing the things that he's doing, I would hope you're in training.
Yeah, so he's really good at doing that, and these are like farmers. You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden it gets broken up. This tension gets broken up by they're like vampires. All of a sudden, first 20 minutes of the movie, 3 vampires start attacking this. Three female vampires start attacking the village, right? Like, all right, cool. Get to see Van Helsing in action. Him and then you get to see a scene where one of the vampires capture or like corners Kate Beckinsale's character, and then they start talking, and then you realize they have a rapport. They know each other, right? They've battled prior, and then they're like, who's Van? And then the vampires are like, who's Van Helsing? Yada yada. And so the reason why I'm highlighting all this is because it's a good intro to the movie, because in the first 30 minutes of the movie, you learn all of your main characters, your secondary characters, and you learn of the villain, because in the very beginning of the movie, when the movie first opens, okay, it's in black and white, and it's Dr. Frankenstein building his monster, okay? The entire village of people is attacking his castle, and he's like sweaty, and it's like raining outside, and he's like working.
That's a cool opening.
Yeah, he's like, and everything's in black and white, and it's like super spooky, right? Dracula, come to find out, Dracula hired Dr. Frankenstein to make his monster, because he wanted to see if he could create life out of death.
Oh, okay.
And then that's where you see Dr. Frankenstein's like, he lives. And then Dracula's like, he's going to be a good tool for my project, right? Dr. Frankenstein doesn't like that he's going to use his he feels like it's his son. He feels like he's going to use his creation for negative and like evil. So what he ends up doing is saying like, screw you, Dracula, you can't have my creation, whatever. Dracula says, word, I'm just going to kill you. So he kills Dr. Frankenstein. And then,
as it happens, all the time.
Yeah, and then Dr. Frankenstein had a partner, Igor, right? Everyone should know of Igor. He's in multiple different things.
Yep.
He basically is like, there's a scene where he's like, Igor, like, help me. And he goes, you have been very kind to me, Dr. Frankenstein, but Dracula pays me. You know what I mean? And so it's like
money speaks, even in Van Helsing.
Pretty much. So anyway, that's like the very beginning of the scene. Then you see Frankenstein freak out. His monster freaks out because he's alive, and he's his creator, that he understands he's been created by this guy. He sees Dracula kill him, so he throws Dracula into a fireplace and escapes with Dr. Frankenstein's body. They get to like some kind of windmill. They're up in the windmill tower, and obviously it's in like the 1800s, so everything's in like wood and hay. And Frankenstein, really powerful scene, carries Dr. Frankenstein's body up to the top of the tower, and he's overlooking all these people that are like with pitchforks and torches, and they're like, kill Frankenstein, and he's holding him, and he speaks for the first time, and all he says is why. He's like screaming like why. You get what I mean? And then everyone stops, and then they burn the place down, and suspectedly kills Frankenstein's monster, which is negative for Dracula because he needs him. You know what I mean? So anyway, getting back to the current timeline of events. So they end up fighting off the vampires. They end up killing one of them, and then in the next couple of minutes, you realize those 3 vampire chicks are Dracula's wives.
Oh,
so one of them,
nice.
So one of them dies, and so Dracula's like mourning, and they're all like mourning them and everything. But the whole purpose is they're trying to make babies. His plan is to make a legion of baby vampires so that he can take over the world or whatever. Okay, now I'm going to give some backstory to Dracula as a character so that everyone kind of can understand kind of like what he is. So the backstory that we're given is he was a man, right, that died, killed by Kate Beckinsale's father. Okay.
Oh.
Or no, killed. Well, okay. So he was a man that was killed, but he made a deal with the devil, like Satan himself, to come back as a vampire and live forever And when he did this, Kate Beckinsale's dad imprisoned him in this like alternate, I guess, like dimension.
Oh, holy!
But it's only it'd be like he hides him in like a secret world behind this one door, like behind a mirror.
Okay.
But it doesn't have, I guess, the way that it's built, it doesn't have like a top. So Satan gave Dracula wings to be able to fly away from it and go back to the real world. Right?
Okay, that's not a bad plot. Okay, I see where they're going with this. Yeah.
So Dracula has wings and everything, and he made a deal with the devil to live forever. Kate Beckinsale's father tries to go on a crusade to kill Dracula.
As one does.
And then we find out later in the movie that he ended up dying and being used to try to being experimented on by Dracula to create his legion of babies, because he has kids and they're formed in these like sack things that are like hanging from the ceiling, and they're like pus-filled sacks of whatever. But the only way for them to be alive, because he's dead. He's the undead, basically, right?
Okay.
He doesn't have a heartbeat. He's a vampire, and he's mating with other vampires.
Yeah, I've seen Twilight. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Wow. So for his babies to be cognizant, he needs to have a lightning bolt hit a person that has enough juice to disperse their life force, I guess, into all of his babies to create life. Okay? Now the problem is regular people don't have that, and they don't have enough life force to be able to give out before they die.
Okay.
But Frankenstein's monster does, because he's not technically technically alive, because he was made with electricity and stuff, right?
Yes.
So that's why they need him, because he's the only one that can truly.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Yeah. No, I'm following.
All right. So now
this actually does kind of sound pretty good.
It is good. Now Van Helsing is going on, and now we see like a flashback moment of Kate Beckinsale and her brother are trying to capture a werewolf. Cool looking werewolf. And then her brother Falcon says. Says, I know what he's basically tied to a post, and he goes in the middle of the woods, dead quiet, and he goes, I know when Dracula unleashed you for a reason. And then the werewolf attacks. They try to capture it. They fail because the farmers like fuck up and they can't capture him. So in the end, Falcon basically sacrifices himself to save his sister. Basically what happens. And they fall off a cliff. So he shoots the werewolf as it's jumping at him. He shoots it. It tackles him if they fall off a cliff. And so then
how cinematic.
Exactly.
Cinematic.
So that's where she's at mentally. Now she's going on the crusade to kill Dracula.
Okay.
Van Helsing is already on that crusade. So they're just going to team up. And so then they get to this like castle thing, and they're trying to hide out at like a church or something. And then in that town or whatever. And then all of a sudden, Kate Beckinsale's like, we have to kill Dracula now, and Van Helsing's like, no, we got to take this slow, whatever.
Sure.
And so she doesn't want to do that, so he knocks her out with like a gas or something. And yeah, and so she wakes up in like a couple hours later, like whatever, in the nighttime. She wakes up and she's like dazed, and she's like, where am I? Where's my? She has like a sword. He took all that from her. Like he didn't do it to be mean. He just did it because he has a bigger plan, and she can't fuck it up. So then she's just exploring this castle, and all of a sudden, boom, there's her brother, Falcon, boom, right in front of her. And he's like, oh my God, like, I don't have a lot of time, but I want, and he's like, his clothes are all torn, and he's like long hair, and he's all like messed up looking. He's like, I don't have enough time to talk to you, but like, I just want to say I'm alive, and like, I miss you. And then all of a sudden she's like talking to him, and then you see the full moon going back out behind the clouds. And then probably one of the coolest werewolf transition scenes I've ever seen. He starts climbing backwards.
Oh, like Jacob in Twilight?
Oh, my God. He starts climbing up backwards behind the wall, like on the wall. And he's climbing up backwards, like sticking to it. And he's like tearing off his skin as he turns. And the entire time he's telling her name is, Kate Beckinsale's character's name is Anna. Okay. So he's telling Anna to run away, like to get away from him. And she's just standing there crying because she can't believe that her brother is now alive, and not only alive, but the werewolf. Okay, so she's crying. She can't move. She's like stuck in place.
Yeah.
He's turning, and as he turns fully, Van Helsing and the friar come running in and start shooting at it. He dips out the window, and it's like he leaves basically, right?
Okay.
Because Van Helsing has silver bullets. So he gets starting to get shot at.
Oh, that's taking on a werewolf. I got
so
you.
he's like, oh, I'm gonna dip. He dips because he wasn't supposed to be there in the first place. And then we see him go back to Dracula's castle as a werewolf, and you realize Dracula is basically Dracula's pet. Now, some more backstory onto Dracula. If you get bitten by a werewolf, and if you turn within the first 24 hours of you being a werewolf or like turning, if your willpower isn't as strong or stronger than Dracula's, you become like one of his slaves and like one of his pets.
Oh,
so basically,
now is that aspect true for any kind of timeline in between, or is that just true for Van Helsing?
True for anybody.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
That's how he's made his like army, because he has like all these werewolves that he kills. Like, not like he'll have like one werewolf at a time, but the way it happens is he has them like on a leash because obviously they don't want to be his slaves, but they don't. Their hate for him isn't stronger than his like mind control thing. So but if he were to come in contact with a werewolf that is stronger than him, and he can't control them, he has an antidote that turns them back into a human in his castle.
They can't do anything.
So if he can get away and grab it, he can,
Really?
Yeah. So he's got a contingency plan. But yeah, so you kind of see that, and then as they're going about their missions and stuff, it's really not a lot's happening. They're kind of doing their thing, and eventually they end up finding Frankenstein's monster. Okay, now at this point we've had a couple more run-ins with Falcon, her brother, as a werewolf, and she doesn't want Van Helsing to kill him because obviously it's her brother, and she's like misguided and confused, and so that's how that goes. So they find Frankenstein's monster. The problem is they're like, we need to keep him away from Dracula, because if Dracula gets his hands on Frankenstein, he'll be able to raise his army. They think so. They knock Frankenstein out. They put him in a tomb.
All right.
Okay. And they're like, all right, cool. Like, we'll keep him here, whatever. The problem is, they do this on All Hallows Eve, the night before Halloween.
Yeah. Mischief night.
So, as they bury him in the tomb, like, the undead awaken. Right? So as they're burying him, they're walking away, and then you see like one of the other tombs, like caskets, like open, and like a hand come out. So what happens is the undead.
Oh, like the Haunted Mansion at Disney World?
No.
I'm gonna get punched up to this.
So when that happens, basically the undead find Dracula.
Okay. After
they wake up, and they take him or they find Frankenstein, and they take him to Dracula.
Okay.
And then Van Helsing is basically like, so then one of the wives from the very beginning come back and they go, you should come to our ball, Van Helsing and Anna, because no, I'm lying to you. Yeah, so Anna, before they bury Frankenstein, Anna gets captured by one of the vampires. Okay,
as one does.
She gets taken away and captured. So then they bury Frankenstein. He gets captured as well. But before that, they're like, you should come to Dracula's ball he's having tonight. It's going to be at his castle. Come and visit. Yada yada yada. Right. Well, there's a problem with that. So Van Helsing and the friar end up going to that ball, and they realize like all 150 people there are all, guess what? Yep, vampires. So now they have to escape and everything, and they end up escaping. But so I'm kind of getting ahead of myself here, but when Anna gets captured, the reason she got captured in the first place and why they had to go save her from Dracula was because they created a mission. They were trying to get Frankenstein to Transylvania or whatever, using the fastest Transylvanian horses they had, right? Like ever, right? So they're going to like Mach whatever. they're using like 4 horses and they're going. They get attacked by 2 of the other 2 wives and Falcon as a werewolf. And obviously Van Helsing and them win, but kind of the same way that Falcon became a werewolf, so does Van Helsing. He kills Falcon as he's attacking them, but he gets bitten as he kills him. Then, of course, Anna gets captured, and so when after the ball, they escape, kill the vampires, except for Dracula. They're in the water trying to escape, and like, you know, it's Anna, the friar, and Van Helsing. They're trying to get to Frankenstein. They can't because of a gate, and then you start seeing.
Oh, how convenient that is.
Yeah,
a gate is the only thing holding them between.
Well, it's like they're in like a river.
No, I understand.
And then it's like a giant gate.
Got you.
And and then you see like Van Helsing is starting to like growl, and like, you know, you can see he's starting to like feel like, you know, he's starting to change, and so they're like, shit, like tomorrow night on the full moon he's gonna become a werewolf. So if we don't find Dracula before that, we're screwed.
Okay.
So, they're basically they thwart Dracula's plans in the beginning. He raises his army, but then they all start dying. And he meets up with Van Helsing because he's like Van Helsing's now in his castle, and he's like, and they have a conversation.
That monologue with the hero
so
and the
it's like mano a mano, and Dracula's clearly superior. He's like, you know, messing with the lights and like jumping all around too fast for him to see and stuff, and he's like talking to him, and he's like, how does it? And Dracula says to him, how it must be such a burden or a curse to be the left hand of God. Or the right hand of God, whatever one.
Okay.
And he goes, and now Van Helsing the entire movie has been dealing with like no memory, like memory loss, right? And he's looking at Dracula like, what the fuck are you talking about? And then he goes, you don't remember whatever, like you don't remember me.
Yeah.
And so he's like, maybe you should return my army or whatever, and perhaps return my ring. And Van Helsing looks down at a ring he's been wearing the whole time.
Oh, and it came from. Oh my gosh!
And he's like confused, and he goes, and Van Helsing Dracula is calling him Gabriel the entire time. He's like, Gabriel, like so he's like confused. Come to find out, Van Helsing is the reincarnation of the Archangel Gabriel, who killed Dracula.
Plot twist.
Right. So he's actually an archangel, basically, reincarnated as Van Helsing, and he was the one that originally killed Dracula before he made the deal with the devil. And
okay. Yeah.
So he was the one in the beginning so all those years ago. So Dracula remembers everything and Van Helsing doesn't, because it wasn't his memories to remember, if that makes sense. Because like, so he's still the archangel, but he just has like no memory of anything. And so he's like, whatever. He's like, I'm still going to kill you, whatever. And the movie continues onward. They end up finding Frankenstein, and it's like a race against the clock. Like, you know, how are we going to get to him? I mean, they end up getting to him and freeing him so that he can't raise the army. And Dracula and Van Helsing fight at the end of the movie.
The big fight scene. Yeah.
So Dracula.
And this is all happening in the castle.
Yeah.
Okay, got
so
you.
They're in like a mechanics room where like they're like vats of oil and smoking.
Oh, it's like
and,
that's a the big.
It's like a big thing.
Yeah.
And so
they're the final battle.
And so Dracula's talking to Van Helsing, and he's like, you know, kind of like teasing him. He's like, you know, you can't stop me now. Like, my army is my children live, yada yada. And then and Van Helsing's looking at the clock, and it goes bung, strikes 12 midnight. He goes 1, turns around, sees the full moon, takes his shirt off, and he starts turning into a werewolf. And Dracula's looking at him with like huge eyes, like she's totally dumbfounded. He's like, what the fuck? Van Helsing's like turning and turning. He's like, you know, like becoming this giant werewolf. Turns into this giant monster, and Dracula starts laughing, and he's like, "This is great!" Like, but you start seeing him slowly start to back up, and he's like, "This is great! Like, you know, we can be partners now.
We can work together.
We can work together now."
That's his whole aspect of getting the werewolves on his side, and their army. Okay,
and he's like, "We can work together, like you and me, like brothers, and like, you know, we're part of the same cut. We're cut from the same cloth." But of course, Dracula can't convince Van Helsing because his willpower is more than Dracula's. Van Helsing eventually attacks him. Dracula turns into his bat form, or like his like demonic form, I guess, easiest way to say it. And he turns and they fight. Dracula clearly in the first encounter has the upper hand, beats his ass a little bit, and then as Van Helsing grabs him by the throat, the full moon goes away because of the cloud goes in front of it.
Oh, when he turns back into a human,
holding Dracula's throat, and he's like, "Oh shit!" Jumps away. Then Dracula turns back into a human. Is just like kind of like toying. He looks at the full moon. He's like, "You can't turn yet because you can only turn as a werewolf
when there's a full moon." I understand that.
And so he's like, "Come on, Gabriel, like, we can be partners, bro. Like, why don't you want to do this? Why don't you want to be friends with me?
This could be fun."
And then Van Helsing's like trying to get away, and then he backs back up to like this window, and then Dracula's like, "Come on, like take my hand. Like we can be friends. We can be partners. Whatever."
Using his manipulative aspects.
And then the full moon comes back, and then Van Helsing's like, "Nah,"
You're
turns
done.
back into a werewolf and dives at Dracula, and bites his throat out. And then you see Dracula like his like black goo draining from him, and he's like, oh, then he dies. And then you see all the like his babies that were flying around die, and so they're all dead.
You get Rickner.
And then and then at the very end you see Van Helsing's still a werewolf, right? So you see Kate Beckinsale, Anna, she goes to kill him because it's the right thing like to do. Like he said, if I turn, kill me. If I kill Dracula, kill me.
Yes.
So she goes to kill him, and or no, I'm lying to you. She goes to give him the antidote because he's like, we have to find the antidote. She goes to give him the antidote. He's a fucking werewolf, so he attacks her, and he, like I said in the beginning, he basically linebacker tackles her into this chair, and she breaks her neck, and she's dead. And then he like backs up and looks down. She stuck him with the syringe of the antidote in his stomach.
So he's going to turn into a human. She's dead.
He picks her up, starts howling, and as he turns back into a human, he's like crying.
How cinematic.
So it's a good movie. And it's even though I explained it, like I said, it's still something everyone could go watch. It's such a good movie to just kind of chill out, grab some hot cocoa or some candy or some whatever, watch the movie, and just have a good time.
Yeah.
It's not meant to be taken super seriously. It's just a everyday horror movie, or everyday,
Yeah.
So,
well, I mean, it sounds interesting.
It is very interesting.
Just want to do a depth. I love that.
Yeah.
There you go, guys. If you didn't see it, might be late, but spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
But no, that sounds actually kind of awesome because it incorporates like that whole aspect of your vampires, your werewolves, and that cool little like, oh, I love you, but we can't be together because of this. And she's on a crusade rampage, and then like at the end she dies, which actually is kind of cool when you kind of see that happening because it adds more of an aesthetic to not just like where you have movies where it's like, oh, it's always happily ever after.
Yeah.
And whatever it is, but she's dead. He's now a human. He has to live with that, whatever it is. So I actually do kind of appreciate that. That is really cool. I mean,
it is a good movie.
You say that.
We're going to watch it.
I'm down. All right, cool.
We're going to watch it.
We'll get the homies together. We'll grab the girls, and we'll just, we're
going to watch it.
Back. Yeah. But no, that sounds awesome. But, yeah, like there's a lot of movies that aren't like that at all. No. I mean, what do you think about Twilight? It's the same kind of. I'm getting punched.
Twilight. What is up with your fascination with Twilight?
I don't know. You said werewolves and vampires and.
I'm going to imprint on your baby.
Well,
that was Jacob.
Didn't know. I didn't actually. My dad loves Twilight.
Well, I don't know. The only thing I remember about Twilight was like Team Edward or Team Jacob, and then apparently Jacob's like ritual is like. They're going to have a baby, right? So Edward and Bella are going to have a baby. And then Jacob's like, I got to be the protector of that baby. So I imprinted myself sexually onto your baby's psychosis thing. And I'm like, what the fuck?
That is a little sus.
I'm like, what the fuck?
I'm starting to like Van Helsing a lot more.
Yeah, so it's weird.
No, that is actually really cool. And it is like your kind of I shouldn't say quintessential, but it is like your cool little Halloween thing that people will kind of like look forward to.
Yeah, and it's corny and it's cheesy and the acting really isn't phenomenal at most parts. But between Hugh Jackman and the guy that plays Dracula, I forget his name, it's an acting clinic. They're really good in their roles. Everyone does a great job, but it's not like I said, it's not a movie that you're gonna see like winning an Oscar or, it's not a movie where you're gonna be like, watch it and like critique it and be like, oh, the cinematography here is amazing, and you know what I mean. It's just something to have fun with.
It definitely seems like you guys had a lot of fun with it. I'm sure your dad and you watched it and enjoyed it. And, no, but that's cool. I mean, there's plenty of other like Halloween movies as well. Like your quintessential Nightmare on Elm Street, your Friday the 13th, your Halloween, which we're gonna kind of go into a little bit. But like, those are kind of the things that kind of keep you up at night. Like I know when I was younger, it's like, oh, if I fall asleep, is Freddy Krueger gonna come through and just claw me up or whatever it is? And you kind of look at that where it's like 1, 2,
Freddy's coming for you. 3, 4, you better lock your door.
Yeah, so like
5, 6, gonna get some sticks. 7, 8, burn them in the face.
Get a crucifix. So that's not even. Oh, great job, proud of you.
Thank you.
Can tell this the whole Van Helsing, but like a 4 thing or a 10 count.
Freddy Krueger. The whole thing about Nightmare on Elm Street is you have a brutalized burn victim trying to enact his vengeance on the people that killed him, and then they go, nah, bro, fuck you, and then they kill him again.
See, my whole thing with these movies is, as like scary as they can be, right? There's only so many times you can make the same movie of, hey, these kids go to Camp Crystal Lake, or these teenagers. Oh no, where is this lake? Camp Crystal Lake.
You know what's weird about those movies is they really like make it seem like every teenager wants to go to the woods and drink and like have sex in the woods. And I'm like, my whole thing is like, when have you ever been like, yo, let's go get fucked up in the woods and then like have sex?
Fuck yeah.
And it's like, who does that? But then every time they're like, we're going to be in the middle of nowhere doing this rager. Yeah, break a dawn. Yeah. Oh no, Jimmy's missing. Whatever will we do? Should we leave? Nah, we're going to stay.
And that's kind of where like you see like Scary Movie, where it's like, you can start to kind of appreciate it as you get older. Cause like, it's funny when you watch when you're younger or whatever it is. But like, I love Scary Movie because it's like, no, please don't kill me, big scary man. I have to be in the sequel.
Hey, I want to tell you something. Me and Rodney are gay. I ain't gay. What do you mean you're not gay? You took me to that one club. Yeah, because I like the food. What do you mean? We had that night at your place. That ain't mean shit.
But it's funny because like you see things like that in the actual movies and they're being so serious. But like, and like same thing with like Friday the 13th. How many times are you gonna or Nightmare on Elm Street? How many times are you gonna have like a 16-year-old kid, 18, 19-year-old kid, where it's like, Mom, I can't go to bed. Yeah. He's there. And then they had like the Freddy Krueger and Jason smash down in the dream.
Freddy versus Jason.
And it's one of those things where it's like, I appreciate the movies.
Yeah.
But like, how many times can you tell the same story?
That's what Halloween that franchise is going through right now. It's like every time it's Michael Myers is here and he's a serial killer. We got to kill him. Okay, ready? Look at this. We have Halloween, Halloween 2, Halloween 3, Halloween 4, The Return, Halloween 5, Halloween 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 Halloween movies about. And then there's going to be a third
2022. Halloween ends.
Dude, what? How many times are you going to sit there and say, for Michael Myers has escaped prison or he's returned from the dead to reenact vengeance and this, that, and the other? And I'm just like, dude. Oh, wait. Go back for a second.
I bet.
Wait, let me see. Blow up that one.
Which one?
That one.
This one.
Yeah.
This is Halloween 1978.
Oh my God, that's not a pumpkin. Is that a pumpkin?
I don't know. I honestly don't even know what that is. We're looking at the 1978. I know you guys can't see. We should have video up soon in the next couple weeks. Once we get this set up a little more.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. Sorry, I got sidetracked.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, no, the movies. It's just like how many times are you gonna tell the same story? How many times is Jamie Lee Curtis gonna fend off Michael Myers? You know what I mean? And it's like, it's just not realistic. And that's why the last last Halloween movie I saw was in 2008.
Dude, I can't tell you, and I couldn't even tell you which one I saw. I just knew it was Halloween. I remember like his sister walks in. What are you doing? And he's just like, I'm a misunderstood.
I'm
like,
the Joker, baby.
Oh my fucking god. I hate
I'm
you.
the Joker, baby.
Those of you who don't know, there's a video of like this this play, and it's like, you know, the Joker and Batman, all that kind of stuff, and they go, and the Joker, and then the Joker walks in, and it's this like just random dude in like the full Joker getup, and instead of him being like, I'm the Joker, it's I'm the Joker, baby. It's just like
so bad.
And it's just it's like, listen, man, I appreciate the laugh. Maybe that's what they were going for. I'm not here to judge that, but it was just one of those things where it's like you see it, you hear it, and now whenever we talk about like things like that, it's just like, I'm the Joker, baby.
I love it.
Playing zombies the other night with like,
I'm the zombie killer, baby.
God, I'm never running an Easter egg with you ever.
I can't get enough.
I hate you.
Anyway,
but yeah, no, but like, see, that's what I'm saying is like there's only so many times you can make these movies.
Yeah.
But I mean, they are good. Like, well, I say that with a little disdain, but I do appreciate the concept because it's scary, especially when you're on Halloween and like you're like, oh man, I'm with my friends. I'm
not scared of movies, but that's just me. I promise you, I haven't been scared. For a movie or TV show hasn't scared me since I was like 11.
See, I was the same way until I saw Exorcist.
The Exorcist is the most overrated scary movie in the history of the world.
No, it's not.
I swear to God.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Hold on. My mom says she can't, to this day, shout out to my mom. You wanted a shout out. Here's your shout out. Hello, mother.
She said that between this podcast and the last one.
She hates that movie. She can't watch it to this day, right? My thing is, everyone and their mother told me, oh, this movie's the scariest thing in the world. You can't watch it alone. Can't watch it at night, yada, yada.
Sure.
I was like, you know what? Screw that. I'm going to watch this movie. So I'm in my house. I turned it on. I turned all the lights off, made sure I was alone in the house. I turned it on. Guess what? I'm cracking up at this goddamn movie.
It was
when she starts running down the stairs, be backwards. All I can think about is when it's like, what if she fell? And she's like tumbling down the stairs. Like, I can't take it seriously because it's not scary to me. It doesn't frighten me. You know what does frighten me? Gas prices. No, no, but seriously, like
people owe me gas. Let me just put that out there.
Oh yeah. When I was I was very serious. I was like, I want to be scared. Like everyone keeps telling me it's the scariest movie in existence. And I wanted to, and I was the same way with Paranormal Activity.
What about Paranormal Activity wasn't fun. That was hilariously bad.
Yeah.
And my thing is, well, okay, what about like the Blair Witch Trials? Did you see that?
Yeah, not scary.
What?
You know what?
I wasn't scared, but I was.
You know what gave me goosebumps? Was Insidious, or not Insidious? Sinister. When the main character Ethan Hawke is on his computer and he takes a picture he's looking at a picture from. So do you know the plot of Sinister? Have you seen it?
I don't think so.
All right, give you without a play-by-play, to give you like the layman's terms. The family moves into a house and you keep seeing these this guy, he goes up to the attic and he finds this box of tapes. He turns on the tapes. It's like film, like film, like an old school projector.
Yeah, no, I understand.
And so he turns it on. He starts watching them because he's writing a book. Okay, he's an author. He moved his family to that house because that house was notorious for having gruesome murders there.
Oh.
So he moves there to get inspiration. He finds this box of tapes, right?
Jeez.
He starts watching them. And guess what the tapes are? Yes. The tapes are from the killer's perspective, killing their families. So in the one tape, it's the camera is panning in on like the family members in a car, and they're like knocked out, and then
wait, is this his family? Like, is he
no, it's just this is from people that were killed in the house from the past.
Okay,
and then they go, oh, look at that! He takes a match, light the car on fire. Oh, his families are in the pool. Oh, we're gonna drown them. Oh, there's families hanging from a tree outside and everything. So they're like, oh shit. You know, whatever. So it's like,
oh, we should watch that. We should do that.
It's a good movie, but it gave me chills when he's looking at this picture from out of his backyard right now. Right, he's looking at a picture from the previous family. Okay, and he's looking at the window in the picture, and he sees a face in the picture,
and he sees the face,
and then he looks up at the same window, and he sees the face in the window, like real life. And then it disappears, and he's like, "Oh shit!" And that gave me chills. I was like, "Oh, damn it!"
Well, you know what kind of freaked me out the last night?
What?
Totally off topic, but it kind of correlates to the face thing.
Okay.
Now you have TikTok, right? Yeah, I know you do. We all do.
Okay.
Doja Cat. Okay, this woman, I probably shit my pants. Now, like, she posts this thing, right? She goes, you have to breathe in, like, for 8 seconds, breathe out for 8 seconds. Now, if you guys really want to get, like, freaked out a little bit, it's not like a jump scare, but a little bit is a jump scare, a bit of a spoiler.
Okay.
I'll play it for you after the pod, but you have to, like, close your eyes for 8 seconds, open up for 8 seconds.
Okay.
And what this motherfucker does, right? She's good looking, right?
Yeah.
But it freaked me out. And it looked like that Momo face.
Okay.
So you close your eyes, and she puts her head right into the screen.
Right.
And then you open your eyes, it's right there. Freaked me out.
Wow.
But
that freaked you out.
Yeah, it was scary.
Yeah, you're okay. So, like I said, movies don't scare me.
What about Halloween Town?
Oh, don't even mention that.
Why do you?
Okay. I like Halloween Town. I do.
So,
It's a quirky
good.
little kid movie. Yeah, I like watching. Listen, okay, this is what's gonna happen. I'm gonna watch all these movies in the next few days. Like, these movies are being watched.
Yes.
Because I don't just watch them during Halloween. I watch them all fall long. I watch Halloween Town.
I know you and Sky want to do your thing, but I'm gonna have to come one night and we're gonna watch Halloween Town.
That's fine by me. We can watch Halloween Town.
Gang.
And guess what? You know, we can we can watch Halloween Town 2. Oh, what now?
What about Halloween Town 3? We can watch all of them.
We can watch all of them.
Listen, it's one of those things where, like, see, like, one of the things that I like about Halloween, kind of coming around this time, is you're now kind of getting into the end of the year, and it's like the fall season comes, right? It's getting colder. It's getting darker outside.
Well, that's just what it's what happens at night.
I hate you.
Got him.
Anyways, you're my 13th reason. Anyways, I kid. But no, it's like, and then you start seeing like people in Jason masks or like Freddy Krueger or whatever it is, and then like, you know, then you have like your Disney movies, you have like your Halloween Town kind of come on, and I like this kind of year because you kind of get to see the aspects of like Halloween. Then right after we have Thanksgiving.
Well, you know
right?
what's good is we can watch A Corpse Bride. The
Corpse Bride?
Yeah. From Tim Burton. You ever saw it?
No.
You're not cultured, so we're gonna watch that.
You guys, if
we're actually gonna watch that after this. We're not leaving.
Yeah, Gavin and I have had this kind of conversation like 20,000 times. Hey, Matt, did you see this? Because currently, right now, I have to catch up on 2 shows, which I'm getting through. And the problem is which kind of falls into the aspect of him being right a lot of the time, is like Invincible or whatever it is. But getting back on track here with kind of Halloween, like I do like the movies. Like yes. I do appreciate like Halloween or, you know, Friday the 13th or like The Nightmare on Elm Street, but I am looking for something new. And that's kind of where like with like Annabelle and The Exorcist and the things like that, because like, you know, you have The Conjuring. And listen, I'm sorry, The Conjuring and the Annabelle series. Scary. I'm not saying it's scary, but I'm saying they are my favorite Halloween type scary movies.
I like the Conjuring verse. Like, I like the idea of him having like a timeline and like, because it's based on true stories.
Well, no, I understand that. And funny fact, there actually is the new. See, I wish we had the camera. Is the Annabelle doll like is a real thing?
Yeah,
and it is in.
I mean, it exists.
Hey, Gavin.
Don't go to sleep.
1, 2.
2, Fred. It's gone.
But it really is good because
you know what? Not to cut you off.
No, you're good.
But do you know what movies I used to like as a kid was during Halloween? I don't know if you've ever seen it, but Leprechaun.
Oh, that would,
dude, that's my movie, bro.
I got a story for you.
Okay.
So we're at my mom's house right now, right?
No.
Like 14th. Let's see what we get to at the end of this pod.
I'll reserve 15 through 25.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Usually do. So next door, shout out to the Furcos. We're watching Leprechaun. We wanted to watch like a scary movie. It's coming into like Halloween.
Yep.
And this was what was it, Halloween or whatever it was, but I'm pretty sure this was during Sandy. This was years ago. I was
2012.
2012. Yes. Oddly enough, that's when that movie came out.
What?
2012 movie when we were.
I thought you were going to say it's when Leprechaun came out.
No,
that movie was made in like '96, bro.
Yeah, but it's kind of gory, and like for us at like that age, I was probably like 13 or whatever it is, coming into high school and like 8th grade. It was a freaky kind of movie for us. So it happened, and like that, the lights go out, they can't find the Leprechaun.
Yeah.
And guess what? the lights went out. We started.
Bum, bum, bum.
I have never freaked out in my entire life. I'm sure like Corinne and Colin and all them can kind of corroborate this.
Yeah.
But it was so funny because we're watching this, we're freaking out. No. It was actually it was probably during like St. Patty's Day because we were probably it had to have been because Sandy probably was because we were making leprechaun
This doesn't
traps.
relate to Halloween. Cool. Anyway,
But I hate you. 15th.
Never. Okay. So yeah, so the Leprechaun is like one of my childhood movies, kind of like Van Helsing. Like
it's a good movie,
dude. I just love when he's like the cop.
Leprechaun, baby.
The cop pulls him over, and he's in like a little kid car. He's like kicking the car, and he's like, "You got a license, pal?" And he's like, "No." It's just so stupid.
Why is that part? There's so many better parts.
Because he's driving a little car. He's like,
I'm a
"No, officer." And then he's like, "Come here, officer, I'll tell you something." And he bends down and he's like, "Come here, Sonny." And he's like, digs his eyes out and he's like, "Rah!" And the cop's like, "Fuck." I don't know. It's just funny to me. Where like the way that they kill him was they shoot a 4-leaf clover into his mouth.
Yeah.
Do you ever see the second one or the third one where he's like in the hood?
No.
Oh my god. It's so fun. It's really bad. But it's like he's like you know, like I'm a leprechaun, yada yada, and he's like in Compton.
That is not a place Leprechaun wants. Bop. Hey, I thought we had a leprechaun problem. What's this junk doing over here?
But he's like drinking a 40 and smoking weed. I swear to God, you can look it up. He's like drinking a 40 and he's like, like, what am I watching right now, bro? Oh my
That reminds
God.
me of like in Scary Movie when like Scream, he's just like,
Oh,
what's
yeah.
that? And then he's like, because like it's like
face
the
changes.
screen, yeah, face changes, and he's all just vibing out. And he
Yeah.
goes, hey, what are you doing right now? I gotta kill you guys. Hey man, I get it.
Yeah, with that. And he's like, hey, Ricky, get on the phone. Dude, and then he's like, wait. He's like, all right, man, I'll catch you. Click. What was that? I loved it. What was that Scary Movie? That's Scary Movie
3, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. Because there's what?
Five or six.
I know the last one was pretty bad with but it was funny with like Charlie Sheen. And there's that scene where he's like it's like War of the Worlds, like a spoof on War of the Worlds, and he's like running away. He's like, "Come here." He's like, "Where's my daughter?" And then it's Michael Jackson with like 7 kids, and he's like, "Come here, little boy. Come here, little boy. I won't hurt you." And then all the kids are like shaking their heads, and he's like, "Come here, little boy. I won't hurt you." I'm like, I don't know. I just think that's fucking hilarious.
Well, it's funny because like,
Was it Scary Movie 1?
Maybe, I don't know. I'm gonna try to do a little detective work over here, but. Yeah, no. There you go, Charlie.
So it was
Sheen,
Scary Movie 1. Yeah.
No. This is
Scary
Scary
Movie
Movie 5 official trailer.
No, I'm saying right here, Scary Movie 1. That's what Scream.
Oh, I'm stupid. Well,
yeah, because Scary Movie 3 was with
because Scary Movie 3 is the one that you see a lot, so it's probably the best one.
Yeah.
But it was just a great movie, and it's funny because like you can kind of like get a little bit of terror, but it's also like. Yeah, you can kind of laugh and have fun, enjoy with your friends, and like eat some popcorn.
Yeah.
But no, it all kind of leads up into that like season, you know.
Yeah.
It's the season of big holidays.
I mean, hey, there was a show I watched last year, and it was like a Scream remake, but like a TV show. I don't know. It was like on. I don't know. I think it got canceled, but it was on like Netflix or whatever.
Canceling's happening more and more nowadays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I like watching Scream. The original Scream's pretty good. What movie was it? Was it Scary Movie 1 or 3 where he had Doofy, the cop?
Oh, that
was it
that
1?
That would have been 3.
Was it 2? Well, because at the end they took the ending from The Usual Suspects.
Oh, when he's
like limping and then he goes back to walking normally.
Yeah.
And then he's like he's not like slow or whatever, and he's like.
I love when he comes out, he walks out, he like turns like good looking, hops in the car with this hot chick, and just
yeah, he's smoking a cigarette. Well, did you ever see The Usual Suspects?
Did not know.
Well,
I promise
you
you,
really can't watch it now.
Why?
movie's pretty much ruined for you.
What? Oh, well. It's all right. I'll watch it for the nostalgia.
Okay.
But I mean, I don't know. There's just a lot of cool stuff that's like all the way out there, and especially like those are your kind of quintessential Halloween movies.
Yeah.
But I mean, anything that you really like aside from your Van Helsing, I think that's pretty much it for kind of like big Halloween movies. Aside from like Halloween Town, I'm sure people.
Well, are you excited for? Are you doing anything like on? I know we're going to Cheryl's party on Saturday, but are you doing anything for Halloween?
I mean, I don't know. It's Cody's dad's birthday, so I'll probably stop over and say hi to him.
Yeah, I'll
probably come here.
That's true. Yeah, and we'll just watch movies. Sure.
Yeah, we'll tell Sky she can come. I mean, all over we're setting stuff up on the podcast without people knowing yet. If they listen to it, they'll know.
Well,
but
this is what's going to happen. Okay, tell me if you like this or not. Okay. What time's Cody's dad's party?
He's not having a party. I don't think he's having a party per se. Oh. He might be.
Well, we'll go and give our,
You were going to say condolences, weren't you?
No.
Yes, you were.
I was not.
Yeah, you were.
No, I was not.
Why you mad?
Anyways. You look like a potato.
That's why your face look like a white ghost. The derailment on this podcast is just going straight down.
Anyway, so this is what's going to happen.
All right.
We're going to come. We're going to come here on Sunday.
All right.
We're going to get hot chocolate and food.
Cool.
And we're going to sit out there and we're going to watch movies. And then at night when the kids come trick-or-treating, we're going to scare them by telling them about taxes.
Listen, you want to know why your gas prices went up?
You want a 10W? You want a 1099? You want a W2?
Listen here, kids.
Have you been tracking your miles?
You ready for this infrastructure bill? But no, we'll have a good time on Sunday. We'll get everyone. But if you guys listen to this and you know us, hit us up. We'll have a good time.
Yeah.
We got a big crib. We got plenty of movies to do and a lot of funs to have. And
my thing is too, like, everyone wants to go to a party on Halloween, and it's like, do you know how much like it'd be fun, but at the same time too, like, I just prefer to do things with his friends.
Well, see, listen, I've been to a Halloween party, like a party,
same.
like almost every year.
Aside
from last year, which is Cody's dad's birthday, his 50th.
Yeah.
But like, we'll go to a frat house, wherever we go, right? And it's like, it's cool, but everyone's like all in a costume, but it's like everyone's all dressed up, but it's like it's not what you expect.
No.
So, I mean, I don't mind doing something on a Sunday. So if you guys are listening to this and you know us, hit us up. You have my number. If you don't have my number, then probably aren't going to be coming. But yeah, I mean,
no.
I hate you. You need to delete TikTok.
I'm sorry.
But speaking of TikTok and socials, guys, we'll probably start doing this in the beginning of the podcast. But either way, make sure you're kind of following us. We're gonna try to be a little more present on social media when it comes to like Instagram, Facebook, Twitter.
Yep.
Hopefully we'll have a TikTok soon.
Yep.
But we're on everything, so make sure you're listening. As Gavin said earlier, either in this podcast or one before, give us feedback. Whether it's good or bad, we'll appreciate it.
There's no such thing as, I mean, like, even if we're getting criticized, I mean, that just, means we're either doing something really right or really wrong.
Yeah, and if we're just getting good reviews all the time, which is great, we also want to make sure that we're like, fixing things, doing whatever.
Yeah.
And like I said, soon we should be able to have videos. So if you watch us on Facebook or not Facebook, YouTube, they'll have clips and stuff up. But if that's it.
Yeah.
Then happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween to everybody that does celebrate. Everyone that's going out and getting their candy and their trick-or-treating on, or they're partying or whatever they're doing. Hope everyone has a nice, safe, and happy Halloween. And other than that, I bid everyone adieu with a pretty firm peace.